Hello peoples of the tube, Bald Geminton here. Welcome to the closest thing to a video that was not made that you're ever going to see, because any closer to not being made and it just wouldn't be made. This is the video that didn't want to be made. It's Oh My Dinosaur Story Corner, by the way.
Oh My Dinosaur Story Corner!
And yeah, I've lost the book. I don't know where it's gone. I don't know how it could have disappeared. It's gone. I've lost it. I mean, it's in here somewhere. It's somewhere in this room. But I've looked everywhere. I haven't found it. I'm going on holiday tomorrow. It's currently 7:15. I'm going to watch a program between 8 and 9. So I've got absolutely no time to find it. So I've had to dig out another Enid Blyton book with a picture of me on the cover. And yeah, we're just going to read this. And I have no memory of this book. I don't know where I got it from. It's apparently this volume was published in 1998, so it's younger than me. I mean, the stories inside aren't, but the volume is. It's signed to Elena with love from Granny B. And I've not bought a new Enid Blyton book. I've not acquired this in the last like 15 years. So Elena must have given up this book that her granny gave her with love very quickly. Shame on you, Elena. You belong in the... The problem is, this is called The Flyaway Money and Other Stories. I liked the theme we had going with Naughty Children. I mean, it was the closest we came to a theme in that set of videos, because that's what the book was. This is not a book of Naughty Children. This is just a general short story collection. 65p apparently it cost. So I'm just going to choose the story that sounds like it most contains a naughty child. And there's one here. There's one called Oh What a Pity. That one sounds pretty, like, vague. What could that be? We're not going to read that one. We're going to read The Boy Who Scribbled, because it's 2 pages shorter. All of these are kind of long, but there's more pictures. So I put a bookmark at the start. Let us read The Boy Who Scribbled. And yes, the other thing that nearly stopped this video being made, I wanted to have this before I had my bath. By the time I'd finished looking and failing to find that book, I needed to go and have my bath. I don't like making videos with wet hair because Suze is always rude about my wet hair. I can't be bothered putting a hat on, I don't care. I had James Carter's hat earlier. There we go. Put a hat on. Right, I'm wearing a hat now. Awful, it's a horrible hat, I hate it. The Boy Who Scribbled. Bobby was an awful nuisance wherever he went, because he scribbled over everything. He always took his pencils and crayons with him, and dear me how he scribbled on walls, seats and pavements. I mean, that's not everything, that's just some things. Bobby, it is very bad manners to scribble over things like that, said his mother. Bobby, you've spoilt our nice new garden seat by scribbling your name all over it. It's a really long name. Bobby is just short for Bubba ma bubble a bubba dubba dubba da bubble a mobble a gubba gubba dubba hubba dubba dubba dooby doobly doobly dum dum dibble double hubba bob gubby bob bobby bob 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 bibbly bob bob bobby bob bob bibbly bob bob billy bob biddly bum 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 bobby bob booba. So, I mean, if they didn't want him to scribble his name all over things, they should have given him a shorter name. Like, just Bobby. Said his aunt crossly. She didn't say all that stuff. Bobby, if you scribble on your desk again, you will stay in after school and write out, I must not scribble 100 times, said his teacher. Or he could scribble it out. How about that? Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone, yeah? But Bobby went on scribbling. You may have seen some of his scribbles. Probably not, though. For he scribbled everywhere. Fictional. It's not real. You haven't seen his scribbles. He doesn't exist. Sometimes he wrote horrid things. Once, when Ellen DeGeneres wouldn't lend him her book. I'm just guessing that's which Ellen it is. He wrote, Ellen is a selfish girl. Whew, that is a harsh, that's a sick burn, twin. All over her wall in white chalk. How did he get there? Like, he went into her house and wrote, is Ellen his sister? It's not clear at all who Ellen is. I don't know, did he break into her house to write it? Is he, like, I feel like the scribbling is the least part of your problems if he's just a maniac. The policeman was angry too. What policeman? Because Bobby's town tried to keep the streets clean and tidy. There were litter bins everywhere and nobody was supposed to make a mess on the walls or fences. But Bobby simply couldn't help it. Oh no. His mother took away his crayons and his pencils. But Bobby found a sharp white stone and wrote all over the pavement with it. He was cross with George. Who's George? So he wrote, George is a horrid boy, 3 times. George was very angry when he saw it. George, that's not an uncommon name. You see that written down on a random pavement. You shouldn't just assume it's you, George. Not everything's about you, George. You're so vain, George. You probably think this song is about you, George. Now, one day, Bobby went for a picnic in a wood all by himself. He had a picnic basket packed with goodies. I added the word picnic in there. It's just a basket. It's a regular basket, a shopping basket. And he meant to have a good time. That was what he was going for. He found a little patch he hadn't seen before. And off he went into the very heart of the wood. And when he came there, he found a pretty little whitewashed house with a neat whitewashed wall round it, and bright flowers growing in the garden. Bobby was astonished. He stared at the house in surprise. Here's a picture of him staring at the house in surprise. They're not quite as high quality, the illustrations in this one. They're kind of slightly cruder. They're not bad. I think the illustrations are a little bit better done. Who are these illustrations by? Let's go off on a tangent. I'm already bored. Illustrations. Oh, it doesn't say who. It just says copyright 1998. That's the problem. You've got a nowadays person doing them. I mean, 20 years ago, but still. Okay. I didn't know anyone lived in this wood, he said to himself. What a dear little house. I think I'll have my picnic here, and then I can go and ask for a drink of water at the house if I'm thirsty. Okay, fine. You do that, Bobby. You do you. Pages are stuck together. It's a disaster. What is it? Oh, so he sat down nearby and undid his basket of food. There were sandwiches, cake, and apples, with a bar of chocolate to finish the meal. Okay, fine. Bobby enjoyed it very much. Now for a drink, he said. He got up and went to the little white gate. He opened it and went up the neat path and knocked at the little white door. Too many adjectives. You've used little in like 3 times. Just all in one go. But nobody came. Nobody seemed to be in the house at all. Bother, said Bobby. Just when I wanted a drink. He went round the back to see if anyone was there. The dustbin was there, and the coal bunker. A piece of coal lay on the ground. Bobby picked it up. I wonder where this is going. And then, you can guess what he did. Oh, it says, you can guess what that naughty little boy did. There we go, I called it. It's a story about a naughty child. Theme maintained. Seamless. He began to scribble over the white walls of the cottage with the coal. He drew some little men. Okay, why? Why did he do that? He drew a house with chimneys. He wrote his own name again and again. Robert William Tompkins. Robert William Tompkins. I thought his name was Bobby Bob. All that stuff I said earlier. Bubba ma bubble a bubba dubba dubba da bubble a mobble a gubba gubba dubba hubba dubba dubba doobie doobily doobily dum dum bibble double hubba bob gubby bob bobby bob 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 bibbly bob bob bobby bob bob bibbly bob bob billy bob biddly bum 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 bobby bob booba. That was a good filler, wasn't it? The coal made very black lines. I mean, it's either black or it's not black. It can't be very black. It's not going to be a little bit black, no. Which showed up well on the house. When Bobby had finished scribbling on the white, what a brat! When Bobby had finished scribbling on the white walls, here's a picture of him scribbling on a white wall. That's like the garden wall. Is that what we're going to do next? He began scribbling on the white walls of the garden. He wrote, "This is a silly house. This is a silly house. There's no one to give me a drink. What a thing to do." That's what the story says, but it's also my thoughts. Then he wrote 2 or 3 things about his school friend. He put in, "Harry has carrot hair. Jane has rabbit teeth. Jane should eat Harry's hair." He didn't say that. He's not that smart. "John is a crybaby." Just as he was finishing this, he heard a noise. Look, there's him writing, "Harry has carroty hair" on the wall. It was carroty rather than carrot, but what can you do? Just as he was finishing this, he heard a noise. He looked up and saw 6 little pixie men coming through the wood. They hadn't seen him because he was sitting beside the garden wall. Bobby felt frightened. 6 little men! They might be very angry with him for scribbling. He looked at the house. Yes, he had done a dreadful lot of scribbles there. The naughty little boy quietly picked up his basket and, bending down to hide himself behind the wall, ran off into the wood without being seen. When the 6 little men came up to their house, they stared in horror at their white walls, which were now all spoilt with the black coal marks. I'm kind of getting racial undertones here. "Who has done this shocking thing?" said the chief little man in anger. The little men have a boss. He didn't have a name, but he's in charge of the other little men. "Just look!" They've all got the same voice. Cried another. "All the way round a lovely house!" It's a different voice now. "Some horrid nuisance of a scribbler has been here." "If only we knew who it was," said the chief man, "I would punish him well." "I can tell you who he is," said the 3rd little man, and he pointed to where Bobby had written his name again and again. "Robert William Tompkins." "Robert William Tompkins? Do you mean?" "Bubba ma bubble a bubba dubba dubba da bubble a mobble a gubba gubba dubba hubba dubba dooba dooby doobly doobly dum dum dibble double hubba bob gubby bob bobby bob 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 bibbly bob bob bobby bob bob bibbly bob bob billy bob biddly bum 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 bobby bob booba." This video's long enough as it is! "Look, that's his name." "Ah!" said the chief man, looking stern. "So that's who he is! I've heard of him before! Well, he'll be sorry for this!" I'm not sure. I am kind of going for a cross between the Mad Hatter from the animated Alice in Wonderland and Spruce Goose from Adventure Time. That's where I'm sort of pitching this. The little men soon found out where Bobby lived, and then one of them stayed near Bobby all day long. Now, here's a picture of these little man. It's just Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Although the boy didn't know it, the little men watched all he did. Ugh. They saw him smack Nora. They saw him throw a stone at a cat. He really is a horrible I think this is a future, like, psychopath. Like, he's torturing animals, breaking into people's houses to scribble on them. Not breaking into people's houses, but still scribbling on them. This is not there's something wrong with this kid. They heard him being rude to old Mrs. Lucy. Oh, they soon found out quite a lot about Bobby. And then strange things began to happen. One day, Bobby and his mother came home from a walk. They found their green front door painted all over with big red letters and swastikas, and it said, "Go home." Nah, fortunately not. This is what was written on the door. "Bobby is a horrid rude boy." These insults are nothing! These are nothing insults! It's so weak. Weak insults. How much more of this is there? Are we yeah, we're nearly done. Good gracious, said his mother. Look at that! We weren't doing a voice before. Whoever has written that on our front door We must get it off at once! I don't want the neighbours knowing that you're a horrible rude boy! I think they already know. Think they maybe know. But they couldn't get it off because it was painted with magic paint! So there it was for everyone to read when they went by. Bobby was angry and ashamed. He remembered that he had been rude to old Mrs. Lucy, and he was careful. Is Lucy her second name then? Mrs. Lucy? Who knows? And he was careful to be polite the next time in case she had written the message. The next thing that happened was a long message painted in bright green on the pavement outside Bobby's house. Bobby is very unkind and selfish. He has big ears and he is unkind to animals. Ha ha! Here's a picture of it. It says ha ha! Oh dear, we're not doing the voice anymore, said Bobby's mother nearly in tears. Who can have done that on our pavement? Don't get so proprietorial. This is a pavement outside your house. You don't own that pavement. That's like the council's. Bobby, how I wish you had never had that dreadful habit of scribbling over everything. Now you see what has happened. Other people are scribbling things about you too. And they're my favourite band. No, that didn't say that. Bobby was red with shame. How dreadful that everyone who came by should read those things about him. He went to look at his ears. Yes, they were big. Well, he had teased Harry about his red hair, so perhaps it was Harry who had painted the horrid message on the pavement and had put that Bobby had big ears. Harry said he hadn't done anything of the sort. I'm not a silly scribbler like you, he cried. All I can say is that it serves you right for being such a horrid scribbler yourself. The next day, the nice red walls of the house were painted white with comical pictures of Bobby and his big ears. This is great. I love this one. This is a great story. Bobby cried and cried. He was so ashamed. His mother and father went to the policeman about the scribble. The town's just got one policeman. It's a very small town. And begged for his help. Well, I don't feel much inclined to help that boy of yours, said the policeman. I've had plenty of trouble from him over scribbling on walls and pavements, I can tell you. If you ask me, I think this just serves him right. And that just was in there. I didn't add that in for the voice. But all the same, the policeman kept an eye on Bobby's house that night. And when he saw 6 funny little men creeping up with pails and brushes, he walked up to them with a large frown. Here's a picture of him doing that. You see, there's a lot more pictures in these. Now then, what's all this? He began in a very deep voice. But to his great surprise, every single one of the little men vanished. Yes, disappeared into thin air. And not even a paintbrush was left. That was the end of the scribbling on Bobby's house. The little men came no more. Bobby's father had the house repainted and the front door too, and sent someone to clean the pavement outside. Then he spoke sternly to Bobby. All of this has happened because of your horrid scribbling habits, said Mr. Tompkins. Have you anything to say to me about them, Bobby? I'll never scribble anywhere again, Daddy, said Bobby in a low voice. Oh, sorry. I'll never scribble anywhere again, Daddy, said Bobby in a low voice. And since then, he never has. I'd hate to have horrid things scribbled about me by those 6 little men. Those 6 little men. Wouldn't you? Well, that was more of the same, I guess. But, I mean, yeah. I fully intend to find the proper book. But, in all probability, I'm not going to do any more of these until I find the correct book. Because that was fine. That was very much indistinguishable from the others. But at the same time, I don't like not finishing something. That's going to bother me forever. On the other hand, I would quite like to do what was it called? Oh, what a pity. Oh, what a pity. The bit of barley sugar. Funny little monkey. Some of these might be quite good. I'd rather continue a proper book, a proper study. So if you find my book, let me know. It's probably in here somewhere. If I find my book, I'll let you know. It's probably in here somewhere. That's about 20 minutes. That's about the right length for one of these. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Tell me a story, oh ho ho, it's nearly Christmas, oh ho ho, it's a story, oh ho ho, I don't like this, oh ho ho, that is what Sue said when he watched it, oh ho ho.
The other thing that nearly stopped this video being made, I still haven't fixed my my lamp, so I'm using this one that it's a like that. It's on a stick. There's one pointing that way and one pointing this way. It's actually a better light for this purpose. It lights up the room, and there's two lights. See, there's one for me and there's one for the room, and it just sort of does the whole job. So that's nice. That's nice too. Bye.
Traffic on the hour.